Hello and welcome to the show.
Thanks, buddy. How are you today?
Hey, it worked. I wasn't sure if it was going to work. I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm good. This is Certified Hustler out of St. Louis.
You know, I figured I looked at your comment. I'm thinking, this might be the person I'm talking about. So did you hear what I was saying?
I did. I'm searching for help, right? So when she goes to work or like to the store, I get on YouTube and look this stuff up because I want to be as smart as her sometimes,
Right. Yeah.
And so it's just weird. Like I have to feel like I'm on the same playing level. So if we ever get into an argument or something, like if I work two jobs, I own a business and I work a real job actually. And so I work a lot. She has a master's degree. She's very professional. But if I say something to the effect like, hey, why don't you, I cook dinner every night. This is me talking, and I also make breakfast for the child every morning. And I also take my child to school and pick my child up every day. Okay. I'm not complaining about that. That's what parents do. But remember, I do this every day and I work. When I get home, I better have dinner ready by 5:30 when she comes through that door. And if I didn't clean something, which my house is already super clean, but if it looks out of place, she says, why didn't you pick up anything?
Wow.
And then that starts the argument. Like, are you kidding me? I worked all day. And she laughs because I do eBay. I do $12,000 or more a month on eBay. And she says, that's not a real job.
Sounds like a real job to me.
It's a lot of work if you know eBay.
Oh, yeah, no, I do. I got stuff.
And it just goes into that. And then she uses these big words against me that I have no idea. And I'm from North St. Louis. If you know anything about that, man, it's the most dangerous city in America. So I grew up with a bunch of stress and I guess I have PTSD from being in the inner city. Yeah. I've lost a bunch of friends to the streets and stuff like that. So I'm not as educated as her, but she decided to marry me. We've been together 19 years, but it's just an everyday fight. And I don't drink, but she drinks every night, and that's a problem. Stays up till midnight, has to be up at 6 in the morning to go to work. And so that, along with why am I a narcissist with her drinking, I think that's really the problem. Yeah. And I'm just so confused. I'm searching for answers.
Yeah, I tell you, man, I mean, everything you're saying sounds very stereotypical. What I would highly recommend you do, like it sounds like you're already doing because you found my channel, but look at, don't just listen to me. Look at, do searches of Am I the Narcissist? There's a bunch of people who've made videos on that. Some are peer support like mine. Others will be actual doctors. And, look at that information. And my guess is, just listen to what you're saying. As you start looking in that, you're going to be like, wait a minute, I don't fit the criteria of this, but there's somebody in the house who does. And when you have that, do not go and start attacking her saying, hey, I've done all this research and it's you, because, you have a master's degree in psychology person in the house who knows how to use the big terms. I would imagine somebody like that, because I've dealt with people like this in the past, are very good arguers, right? I would imagine that in your situation with your wife, you've been in, when you try to argue with her, she's able to immediately take what you say, flip it around and start beating you with it. And you're like, what the hell just happened? Am I right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely on point.
So what I would do.
Exactly, man. I sit there for hours and think about what happened. I dissect the conversation to figure what did I do or say? I'm so confused. Yeah,
it's gaslighting. And so here's the thing. This is what I would recommend you do. Okay. You're starting your education on this, which is outstanding. Continue that, but keep it to yourself. I was going to even recommend ordering some books. If you buy some, like Psychopathic Free, Walking on Eggshells. I can't remember who the authors of those books are, but they're going to, go ahead. Anyways, those will, I'll say those will give you more information. And my gut feeling is as you start going through that, you're going to be like, holy crap. And you're going to have this epiphany. You're going to have this epiphany that you're not this person. Then you're going to realize, holy crap, you're already hinting at it. You just said a minute ago that you've recognized that you have PTSD. It's probably complex post-traumatic stress disorder. The difference is, you might have both. PTSD is you've been through a tragic experience, and a car, I'll use the war scenario. You've been in the war, you come back.
I was shot twice.
Yeah, okay. All right. So then it could be that whenever you hear a backfire of a car, you immediately flash back and relive that experience you had. That's PTSD, right? CPTSD is whenever somebody says something to you, you have a visceral reaction to it, but you can't place when it happened. Normally that's from a lot of childhood abuse, right? Where there'll be situations like someone will say something to you and it's triggering a memory that you don't even remember from when you were like 5 years old. And that's the difference. Does that make sense?
It does make sense.
Yeah. So start researching that. Keep it to yourself. Don't go to her and expose it. Start figuring out what you think she probably is. And probably she has potentially some form of undiagnosed personality disorder. And somebody who has a degree in psychology, who's probably working as a social worker or a therapist or something, has a lot of credibility and clout.
She works at a prison.
Okay. Oh God.
She works at a prison. Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that's interesting. But my point is then once you understand what you're dealing with, then you can make decisions on what you're going to do, right? Then you can say, hey, look, we need to do something different. Then you can start working on building your own boundaries to where maybe you say, hey, look, you know what? This isn't working. We have to make a change. And you gradually try to do that if you want to try to save the relationship. Or maybe ultimately you just look at it and go, holy crap, I had all this past childhood trauma, which you have. She was able, you guys met, you guys obviously melded together at the beginning. You felt comfortable with her. And, now you're in this situation and you have to decide, are you going to try to save the relationship? Are you going to try to get out of it? I mean, if you look online, everyone's going to tell you to run to the hills, right? And I'm not going to say that to you because you got 18 years or 20-year relationship. You got kids with this person, to go from, I'm in this relationship, I want to make it work to, no. I mean, narcissists can do that, right? I mean, potentially when your wife realizes that she's lost control of you, it'll be over anyways, right? Mm-hmm. And what'll typically happen in that situation is you'll have a conversation one day where you're both basically saying you're invested in the relationship, and the second that she realizes that she's lost being able to manipulate and control you, it's over, and it'll hit you like a ton of bricks because it's bizarre. I've talked to hundreds of people who've had that type of scenario. So that would be my recommendation for you on this. I know you probably feel like you're going crazy and you're realizing you're not crazy at the same time, would be my guess.
Right. Can I ask you one more thing and I'll leave it alone? I'll listen to the rest of the show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that okay?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I am still with her. We have a 9-year-old daughter, and I told you this lady drinks and everything like that. I don't have to wake up until like an hour after she does if I want to get my kid up and take her to school. I get up 30 minutes before she does to make sure she gets up for her job, right? So I'm scared that if I leave, she's going to lose the nice house, the job, her career. The kid's going to have to move in with the grandma or something like that. Or me, which is great. But, for a daughter, you want the mom to be around and be right, And so I'm just scared of that. So I think I stay and deal with it because I don't want my daughter to go through it. We have a 19-year-old daughter getting ready to be 20, but she lives outside the house. But then we started kind of over, and that's what I'm dealing with. I really don't want to leave if I'm going to until after the kid. Does that make sense?
It does. But the questions you have to ask yourself is, one, can you survive another 9 years in this type of relationship? If the answer is yes,
right, fine,
right? But here's the caveat, and this is the thing that you're going to have to do with, and I get it, right? I understand what you're saying. You guys stay together. You both make, she's a professional. I mean, you're a professional. I mean, you're making over $100,000 a year. I don't care if it's eBay or whatever. You're doing a phenomenal job on that, right? I mean, so you guys have a decent amount of income.
Thank you.
So I can see you being worried about it. But here's the problem that I see with kids on this. If you stay and you don't use the next 9 years to try to demonstrate to your child what is good behavior and what is bad behavior, there is a high probability that when she becomes an adult, she's either going to become you in her relationship or she's going to become her mom. In other words, she'll do the same thing that her mom's doing to you, or she'll turn in and be the person, you know, the fixer person that you are. And then you have to ask yourself, can you do something to try to mitigate that? Typically that's really hard in the house, maybe not. But do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I really do. How do you help it not rub off to the 9-year-old? How do you help? Because it is kind of like certain things. My 9-year-old thinks she could say stuff to me that her mother does.
Oh yeah, that's bad. Okay. And actually, I was going to say it's modeling behavior, and what you're described is model behavior. She's seeing that the mom of the house, the other parent, can treat the other parent like that, and absolutely, kids will absolutely test. And I had the same thing. I mean, I'll tell you, when I first moved out, I had a come to Jesus meeting with my kids one day whenever they were basically lecturing me in my own house the way their mom would. And I had to have a nice, friendly
Absolutely.
I had to have a nice, friendly conversation, which wasn't nice and it wasn't friendly, expressing to them that ain't going to happen anymore. That. But it's hard. But see, the problem is it's hard when it's in your house, right? So you can turn around. I mean, so what do? You tell your 9-year-old, hey, it's not acceptable. Right. And there's probably a 75% chance that the mom in your situation, your other half in this situation, isn't going to back you up, isn't going to say, hey, little Susie, you cannot talk to your dad like that. Oh, I talk to your dad like that, but you can't. I mean, so that. Absolutely. And see, that's the thing. So here's the other, see, it's such a tough thing, right? I mean, again, most people will tell you, if you go online right now and you shared your story, everyone's going to tell you, punch out, get out of it, do, whatever. What I would say is, you're heading towards that decision. You don't want to do it. So try to make changes, and in your own mind, pick lines in the sand, pick things that are deal breakers, and say, okay, this is my boundary. I'm going to give some time to see if we can reestablish it. But if things don't change, I cannot stay in this situation. In my mind, hopefully, I mean, maybe I'm wrong. My kids are 22, 20, and 16. Hopefully, my kids are going to be able to look at relationships and be able to have a healthy example of it on what's healthy and what's not. The problem is for kids who go through this, and maybe you're even in this situation. I know I was. Maybe your parents were broke up or whatever. But a lot of times, children, when they go into adulthood, in the back of their mind, that is what love is. Conflict and chaos is what a real relationship is. So they're trying to find that.
Her parents are divorced.
Yeah. So I mean, it's she's
like her mom to the T.
Yeah. So it's perpetual chaos. You're talking about your not ex, your wife, right?
Yes, sir. The mom has been divorced from the dad for 17, 18 years. And she's Miss Know-It-All. She's in IT for Washington University. I'm not going to name her name or nothing like that.
Yeah, please don't.
She is, yeah, buddy. Yeah, buddy.
So, man, I mean, that's the thing. You're going to have, again, keep the information to yourself, because otherwise this will blow up quick. Learn everything you can, start setting up the boundaries, and then start deciding what you want your life to be. Look at it and say, okay, 10 years. Do you want to live? If nothing changes, are you okay living in this environment for another 10 years? If the answer is yes, hey, that's your call, man.
No, I'm not.
And if it's not, then you have to start changing.
That's why I'm calling you, man.
Yeah. So
that's why I'm calling you.
Well, hopefully that was helpful. If you need more, I do coaching, or you could send me emails too.
How can I do that? I'm gonna send you an email because I do need coaching, and I'm ready, man. Trust me, I do good on my own, and I can do bad on my own too.
Yeah, just look in the video description. It has all the information for that, and I'll send you over to the website, and we'll go from there. All righty?
Man, you're amazing, and we need more people like you on YouTube and not charging us an arm and a killing to listen to this stuff.
Yeah, thanks, man. Have a good day.